What's up guys, Hbox here, and just when I thought there wouldn't be any more news pertaining to Smash Bros, and when I thought the game was finalized and done and ready to be not necessarily hung up, but played for the rest of its existence as is, news from Nintendo that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate version 13.0.1 will patch in the final fighter adjustments. So there is one more balance patch happening from what we understand. Of course, this article from Nintendo Life basically says that, on 13.0, Sora was introduced, and this patch will be the last update relating to fighter adjustments. As always is the case, Nintendo has advised players to convert any save replays before the patch arrives, as they'll no longer be compatible once it's been downloaded. And of course, the tweet right here from Nintendo UK Versus says that exact same thing. This update will include the final fighter adjustments. So, here's the thing. This is not only a patch, this is now confirmed to be the last patch. 13.0.1 is where the game stops, it's where it ends. So now, of course, it's up to us to sort of predict what will happen. Just off the top of my head, I really don't expect there to be any change to the mechanics of the overall gameplay. I think it'll just be slight tweaks to certain characters. Obviously, I don't think online will be touched at all. I don't think it's going to be a case where there's a brand new stage like Small Battlefield. I don't think it's going to be like, necessarily something crazy new that's, out of the blue. Unless, of course, Sakurai wanted to give one last surprise to people. But I feel like if there was a surprise or a new mode or something just completely that hasn't been done yet, I feel like we would have probably seen it coming in a direct or not. It's Sakurai. He likes doing surprises. The only reason I say it is because there's only one final patch, and if this is it, that's it. Like, that's not, too out of the blue to imagine there might be something extra. But remember, here they say not final patch, actually, they say final fighter adjustments. So, perhaps not the last patch, actually, just the last character balance. So, with all that being said, yeah, I'm curious to see where this goes. I know a lot of people have had their wish lists in terms of what characters they want buffed and nerfed. And of course, I have the quote tweets for this open. A lot of people, of course, calling for Pikachu to finally be nerfed. A lot of people calling for, their own low tier main to be buffed. And I can go through a few of these, like right here, of course. People want to see nerfs rather than buffs. They want to see Aegis get nerfed, Pyra and Mithra. They're gonna expect bug fixes. They're gonna basically, they want to fix also. There's a glitch, of course, that happens with Sora and Ice Climbers, and basically, yeah, they want to take that out because there's not too many like game-breaking glitches left. That's probably one of them. Some people are calling for Bayo buffs. Some people are calling for Rosa buffs or Incineroar buffs. It's basically one last chance for their character to be a little bit better. But the general thing that I think people are expecting is actual nerfs to top tiers. A lot of the time they've just been slightly buffing the low tiers to make them a little better, but you haven't seen too many nerfs lately on the absolute very, very best characters. So, and of course, as 24K here said, I want more buffs to the character Jigglypuff. She's so disrespectful with the sleep move. I would fry tears of joy if they gave Jigglypuff one more buff, but I doubt at this point. The last thing they buffed, of course, was her jab and her back air and her down throw a little bit, which, was kind of cool. Buff buffs! No shot! No shot! Wait, no shot! But, there's no way they're doing anything more to her. If you want my wish list right here, I mean, you can pull up a tier list at any point for this game and understand, like, which characters are complete garbage and which characters just absolutely need a little bit of help, and which ones really don't at all. I think a very standard wish list for the final patch of this game to make it like a truly balanced fighting game. You gotta buff one last time only the straight trash bottom tiers, and that would be Ganondorf, that would be Little Mac, that would be Dr. Mario, for sure those three. I think need to be buffed. Maybe Isabelle, but for sure those three, right? And you'll notice those 3 characters have just some of the worst recoveries in the game, and I was talking earlier on my stream about how the bottom tiers usually share that common element. Above all, their recovery is absolute trash. So you can't just completely go into a character's design and be like, oh, this move will now go a little higher. What they did with Gandalf's recovery is basically is that, you know, if you sort of use the up B on someone and he latches onto someone, that is a lot quicker now. You can act a lot more quickly out of it, which was a recovery buff, but still it didn't change the distance or the trajectory, just the amount of time you have to react to it. Plus, someone has to come down there and try to hit you and whiff it for that to even work. In terms of Little Mac, the most recent buff, of course, was the up B knockback, but again, didn't change the recovery distance, only the amount of kill potential for that. And of course, Dr. Mario had some pretty good buffs too. I think the biggest one I saw was his Nair, and of course, not too long ago, his Downer got buffed too. But again, these are all just buffs for the character on the stage, offensive ones that deal with attacks, and not necessarily recovery. So I don't expect there to be any sort of buff where it's like, oh, the up B travels 25% more, or this and that, or there's more horizontal mobility with this move. I'd be I'd be super ecstatic to see if that was the case. But as of right now, I don't think that'll be. So the only thing they can do is just make their on-stage game better, make them a little stronger, make them just that much more scarier to make up for the absolute lack of recovery that they have, and that I could see happening. There's also a few low tiers I think could probably use some buffs that aren't represented as well. You know, maybe Kirby, maybe Lucario a little bit, Incineroar, I agree with that one too. And in terms of the top tiers, yes, let's have some nerfs going, especially for the top tier DLCs. I think Pyra and Mythra definitely need to be a little bit nerfed, just a little bit in terms of their speed or kill power, especially with Pyra. Pikachu has been called to be nerfed for ages now, no pun intended. The last thing he got, I think, was actually a buff, which is kind of weird. So that just needs to be undone. There has to be some sort of fix or some sort of solace to that. I think you could even throw Joker into that mix. Palutena, not anymore. Palutena was already nerfed, so she doesn't need to be touched. But definitely Joker, Pyra, Mythra, Pikachu. Those characters need to be taken down a bit of a notch. Sora, I don't think needs to be changed or patched apart from the Ice Climber's glitch. And all that being said, those are the ones that come to my mind immediately. Just like the best 3 or 4 characters and the absolute worst 3 or 4 characters. Just, you know, please fix them for once. Some people are asking for Zero Suit nerfs. Some people are asking for nerfing Rob. And of course, Rob is the most used character, which to me, you know, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like someone said they're going to revert everything back to 1.0.0. A lot of people are asking for Incineroar buffs, Ryu buffs. I think Ryu and Ken are fine. And so, Robin buffs, yeah. For a lot of these characters, a lot of these mains, I think people are already accepting that, you know, where their character is going to be is where it is. So, don't get your hopes up too high because, again, it's the final patch in terms of balance adjustments, and this is going to be the final iteration for your character. It's probably coming out this week. I'll let you know when it does. Of course, I'll be streaming it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What is going to happen to your character, and what are the buffs or nerfs you're most likely wishing for now that Ultimate's balance is finally coming to a close. Again, I've said many times, this is the most balanced fighting game, or sorry, the most balanced Smash game. Definitely one of the most balanced fighting games, but this is by far the most balanced Smash game. And with a few more tweaks at the very end here, it could really make it a beautiful thing. It could be a patch of 4 changes. It could be 100 changes. We really don't know until we'll see. But I trust Sakurai and the team to do their magic as they've always done. As usual, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And thank you for watching my videos, my channel through all this time. I'll see you next time.